Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So we saw how that life, what we consider as life, is a complete circle. Everything that comes out goes back to its source. Whether like you start on a Monday and you conclude on a Sunday, and then again Monday begins. Same way the Chatur Yugas, same way everything is going on. The day comes up, night comes, again the day comes up, and this is going on. And we have to get out of this cycle. And once we understand that, first you have to understand that you are, as a seeker, whatever you are doing, as long as you are doing, you are caught up in a cycle. You have to break that cycle. You have to break that gravity. See, the earth is rotating around itself, there is a gravity created. Earth is rotating around the sun, another centrifugal force. Wherever there is movement, there is gravity created and you get pulled down. Exactly the same thing. Understand the principle. In life also, in sadhana also, if you are doing, there is movement created, and movement cannot take you beyond movement. Because breath is moving, thoughts are moving, body is moving. Have you gone beyond it? So if you want to go beyond it, you have to think, not think. There is no other option but to think. But you got no other option but to think. But you have to think of something higher. Example, if I am standing here on the ground, we needed a GPS to come where we are coming. Because we couldn't see 2 kilometers away from where we are driving, wherever we are at any spot. But if I was taking a helicopter, what would it be? I will see all the roads crystal clear, isn't it? And when I am on the road, I have to be very alert. Of what? Of the traffic, of the lights, of the trucks, of someone. If you are following the rules and regulations, but others are following or not, you got no control. And there can be accidents. So you have to be extremely alert. And there will be accidents whether you like it or not. That is the ground reality. Accidents will happen in helicopter also. But from helicopter, the problems that are present on the ground with reference to the roads and other traffic is much less compared to that when you become higher than the ground. And everything what was on the ground becomes clear. And I understand which is the path from Barkingside to Cambridge. I can see it. This is the way.
Alert for
Very
no
clear.
backups for 1,250 days.
I don't collect backups, man. So everything becomes crystal clear. If I go even further up, then what do I see? I even see not only the England, I'll see Europe also. If I go even further up, I can see the whole earth also, where each continent is, where where the rivers are flowing, and all the small things which were a challenge when we are at the ground level become null and void as we go higher. You understand? Because the cars are not even cognized from that height. People not cognized from that height. all the interpersonal relationships that you have with other drivers or with your family, as you go higher and higher and higher, everything becomes zero. कोई मतलब ही नहीं है, तुम अकेले हो, you are alone. Same way, if this example is clear, within ourselves we have to first value that we have to get out of this phenomena by accepting the phenomena as phenomena. Second, the only way to get out of after having accepted the phenomena is the phenomena, now what? Going to no man's land? No, I must bring my attention to something higher. And what is that higher? That higher can be, many people talk about in different ways. It can be noble ideas, noble ethics, good morals, satyam, ahimsa, etc., etc. Or you can think of God, or you can think of the absolute. Keep your attention on that, and automatically whatever is the lower will stop having its impact, or it will stop pulling you towards it, because your attention is not there. If I give attention to him, you do this experiment in your life. Whatever you give attention to, that becomes an issue in your life, positively or negatively, whichever, it does not matter. But if you don't, like you are giving attention to me, listening, if I go longer than 1 hour or 55 minutes, I'll become a problem for you all, because already Subhaji is disturbed from the smell of the food. He says, बहुत smell आ रही है, fragrance आ रही है, क्योंकि attention है. And now who is coming between that attention of smell of food and the tongue? Swamiji. देखो, तो whatever you give attention to, it becomes an impediment. So way of living is put on something higher, which is all inclusive. All inclusive. If you put the attention on the ocean, it is inclusive of all waves. The waves are not a problem. If you put your attention on the God principle, then God is everything, then world is not a problem. Look at all the great last 4 days we are taking stories of saints in the satsangs, and every saint. Yesterday we did Eknath Maharaj, Samartha Ramdas, Tukaram Maharaj, not Tukaram we didn't do. We did Namdev Maharaj, Jnaneshwar Maharaj. All of them put attention on the higher. They didn't care about what was going on the ground level. So be fascinated, be curious about the higher. The more you put attention on the higher, even if you don't understand, the lower things will automatically drop away. And this is exactly what is happening in deep sleep also. You put your attention on nothingness, you don't know what it is, but still you think of sleep, and the worldly problems drop away by themselves. You understand? See? So think of space, think of air, think of God, think of consciousness. The worldly issues, the ground issues will automatically drop away. Body issues will drop away. Mental issues will automatically drop away. Provided we have the courage to think beyond the mind. And what is that beyond the mind? We are thinking by the mind only, but one aspect of the mind, we are making it attentive on something that is its source, which is beyond the mind. And in this way, the mind loses the interest in what it has been habitually been associated, and starts contemplating. And when we listen to it in this way, then we come to value that we must study that which can take us beyond the world. If we study the body, it is not going to take beyond the world. If we study breath, mind, intellect, it is not going to take us beyond the world. What is going to take us beyond the world is that which is beyond the mind. And again I repeat, many times I have done, and that is the God principle or the conscious principle, the absolute principle. So, and that is your truth. choosing not to contemplate on that and think about that and remaining at body, breath, mind, intellect level, we are suffering, we are complaining, we are struggling, we are trying to survive, we are trying to secure ourselves financially, emotionally. No one gets people get married to secure themselves emotionally. They get divorced also to secure themselves emotionally. Isn't it? So same, this game is in the world, this is what the game is going on, and there is no end to it. You have to go beyond. That's the only, and once you start valuing that going beyond is the only solution, then the path will, then the right people will come into your mind, the right scriptures will come into your mind. Not that people and scriptures will make any dent. Answer is with you, and you are the answer to yourself. But till you don't accept it completely, we will be running from pillar to post, studying this scripture, doing this yoga, doing that yoga. If Ashtanga yoga is not helping, then Kundalini yoga. If that is not giving you results, then Kriya yoga. Then Kriya is not giving, then Bhakti yoga. भागते रहेंगे इधर उधर इधर उधर इधर. For this महात्मा, अरे यार ये अच्छा महात्मा था, I spent 10 years with him, but progress कुछ हुआ ही नहीं है. मेरे को कुछ चेंज द महात्मा. ऐसे नहीं है. You are the answer to yourself. First, you means not as body, you as the consciousness. Uddharet atmanatmanam natmanam avasadayet. Raise yourself by yourself, in yourself, for yourself. Nowhere in Bhagavad Gita is written, go and study scriptures. Well, it has been said also, but in meditation practice, this is in the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Dhyana Yoga. And how do you do dhyan? Not by reading, not by ting, जैसे स्वामी जी एग्जाम्पल देते हैं, कई जगह पे होता है ऐसे नहीं होता. You bring your attention to that unchanging principle within you, that which is observing the body, breath, mind, intellect, thoughts, concepts, ideas, everything. You are that. Keep thinking about it. Keep trying to be that who you are already. And in that process, everything else, uddharet atmana atmanam. Nothing other than Atma can raise the Atma, can reveal the Atma. Why? Atma is self-illuminating. Why? Atma is self-revealing. Why? Atma is self-knowing. So when we say the word yato vacho nivartante aprapya vasasah, so mind cannot come to comprehend the Atma, because Atma is the source of the mind. The source cannot be known by the effect. And you are the source, and you are living, poor me in this world, what will happen, when will the circumstances in my life change, why I am persecuted, when my Shani Maharaj will leave me, another 1.5, 2 years to go. फिर उसमें मजा आ जाता है कि अच्छा शनि महाराज 7.5 years, उसमें से 1-2.5 years he gives money, 1-2.5 years he gives problems, and 1-2.5 years he gives you spiritual advancement. Which one am I in? इसी में फंसे रहो. तू मैं trying to survive. Get out of it. Recognize that the whole creation is emanating out of me, existing in me, and going back to the consciousness that I am. The day this becomes doubt-free conviction, that day a saint is born. This was the disposition. Every saint was like you and me. Every saint had a past. Every saint had his own difficulties. We saw the last 4 saints we saw. In everyone's life there were problems. But they did not give value to the problems of what the world was throwing at them. Their attention was on the ultimate. Their attention was on the divine. See? And that made them break through all the problems. Problems were still there. But when you are not aware to the problems will not come to you, they'll go to someone else. Or they will dissolve by themselves. Because only if we are available, then the problem becomes a issue. You are looking at me right now. There are so many things. There are these photographs, and there is window, there is beautiful sunlight, there is this TV, there is these two lamps, there is camera. So many stimuli are there. Your attention is not on any one of those stimuli. Your attention is on this stimuli. If your attention goes to the smell stimuli, then food will disturb you. If your attention goes on, if something is sticking to my beard, and you're looking at me, but your attention is on my beard, which is having something stuck to it, then that will become your Swamiji. Swamiji, थोड़े से वहीं से कोई ना कोई indicate करता रहेगा. So just like when you are focused here, nothing in this room is becoming a trouble to you. The traffic going there is not troubling you because you are not giving value to it. Exactly the same way in your daily life, as you are moving along in life, don't give value to whatever is going on. Then how do I do my job? How do I do my work? How do I take care of my family? That is happening at default setting. You already programmed yourself. Take out one part of the mind, continuously be attentive of that, because of which everything is going on. And so important point here, what we are talking about is give value to something higher while living. Accept the life what you are living at this moment is only a phenomenal life. And phenomena only remains a phenomena. It can never become the reality. It is an appearance without legs. Under certain circumstances, it appears. When those circumstances are not there, it disappears. And where is this whole phenomena appearing? Mind. And in the mind, how do you know the phenomena? By way of thoughts. Right now, our thoughts are only waking, dream, deep sleep, samadhi, waking, dream, deep sleep, samadhi. Cyclical. We want to think such thoughts which take us out of this cycle. Just like even for a rocket to go out of the Earth's gravity, it needs a certain thrust. 11 kilometers per second thrust is required. Only then that rocket can break through the ionosphere and go into the orbit. Otherwise, little bit less, it will fall back onto the earth. So we also need that acceptance that we are that ultimate. That initially it is a thought only. You have to accept that. Only then we will come out of the gravity of the mind. And where has this gravity of the mind come about from? By your practice. Now you practice something else. Be something else. Uddharet atmanatmanam natmanam ava sadayet. So, and religion, if you take it religion or you take yoga, religion also means what? Religiare, means again to reunite. Yoga also means to reunite. Religion is for human beings. You accept yourself human being, you are again caught up in the cycle. You accept yourself as the spirit or the pure consciousness, you are free of religion. Then what are the people of Bharatvarsh accepting themselves as? Are we belonging to a religion? We are Sanatana Dharmis. So we belong to the eternal way of life, eternal path, eternal righteousness. And that eternal righteousness is the spirit, is that Paramatma, is that Lord. For devotees, it is God. But after, so what is the mainstay of Sanatana Dharma? Everything is perfect. Everything is perfect, whether you know it or you don't know it. Everyone is perfect, whether they know it or they don't know it. If you don't know it, then humanity creates religions. Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, Isai, then all these. Why? They want to belong. Why they want to belong to certain congregations and sects? Because they don't belong to themselves. They don't belong to the eternal that they are. That is where the problem is. So when you have this overview of the whole thing, then which religion you will get caught up in, which organization will you get caught up in, which sanstha you will get caught up in, which I am Maharashtrian, you are Punjabi, you are Kerala, Malayali, किसमें फंसोगे? But these are the questions that first person which we asked, which is what is. I was also asked here. I will not answer. I always tell lies. But Pap, I am ready to take that Pap. Sannyasi should not talk about his past. See? So get out of all this. Because the more you remain in this, the more it will keep pulling you. मेरा देश महान, मैं भारतीय हूँ. Yes, we must be proud, no doubt. I am very thankful that the birth was in India, that I was born on the land of Bharat. भारत का मतलब भी पता होगा कि नहीं, पता नहीं आप लोगों को. बताओ. योगा तो कर लिया.
Land of knowledge seekers.
No, Bharat.
हाँ.
Bhaskar Ramat Iti.
हाँ. Bha means light.
Light.
Rat means reveling. The one who, that land where everyone revels in light is Bharat. Light, according to our scriptures, means knowledge. The illumination. Light is knowledge. So those who revel in the light of knowledge are Bharatiya. Do you accept yourself as that? See? तो पहले ये सोचो, इस तरीके से सोचो. फिर सनातन धर्म के, सनातन means eternal. That light is eternal. So revel in that eternal light of knowledge. Then you are Bharatiya. Then you are Sanatani. Sanatani and to be Sanatani and to be Bharatiya are not two different things. It is the same, one and the same. So does that mean that everyone in the Western world is also Sanatani? Yes. They are Sanatani. They don't know it. Just like we are also Sanatani, but we don't know it, and therefore we call ourselves Hindu. We are not Hindu, we are Sanatani. अच्छा नहीं लगेगा आरएसएस के लोगों को. We are Sanatani first. Bharatiya, again, identified with the country secondly. And it is nothing wrong. But we want to be born in Bharat because that is where everyone who's born is having a natural disposition to know, accept the variety as one. It is our natural disposition. हम इतने सारे भगवान को देखते हैं फिर भी कंफ्यूज नहीं है. बाकी लोग एक है उसी में उसको इतना डिवाइड करते हैं फिर भी कंफ्यूज नहीं है. ये हमारी क्वालिटी है. दिस इज अवर क्वालिटी. सो accept it. Be proud, be grateful that we are born as a Bharatiya. Now that we are born on this land of Bharat, now what is our responsibility? To come to the natural conclusion of what being a Bharatiya means. To come to that natural conclusion what Sanatana means. That means reveling in light. What am I reveling in? In my wife, in my husband, in my children, in my duties, in my problems, in my bills, loans, continuously only thinking about that. How much time are we spending reveling in the light of knowledge? Which was the light of knowledge? Uddharet atmana atmanam. Self was the knowledge. Self was the light. So every now and then, as you are living your daily Do whatever you are doing. Don't do anything specifically. Whichever way the life is unfolding. Doing anything other than what life is unfolding, you are fighting against life. You are creating friction. Friction always generates heat. When you are breathing normally, there is no heat created. Very little and handleable. You do pranayam, you start burning from inside. You are walking, talking, sitting, doing everything, body is fit. You do extra exercises, and if you do it wrong, गया काम से. सोचो जरा, सहज. अल्लाह, मैंने भी योगा किया है, but not the way you guys are doing it. And that was it. The contour, the body used to go into various convulsions of its own accord, not because I wanted it to go. There was never in my life a point where I did any yogic exercises because I want to do it. My focus was on the Paramatma and the japa, and that japa made the energy move, and that energy made the body move, that energy made the breath move in a particular rhythm, and that rhythm made the body move in a particular way, and wherever there it felt it was blocked, it used to go into convulsions and it used to release it. That was, but you have to, we are all, like Vivekananda says, children of the God. We are all children of God. We are nothing but expressions of the God. But you have to find out what is your way. We can't copy. There are instructions given. Bhagavad Gita tells you there is Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga. In Patanjali Yoga Sutras, there is what is called Samadhi path. There is a pathway by chanting the Ishvara's name. There is sadhana path. But are all the paths for you? Are all the paths for you? Do you have to start from asana? Did Patanjali Yoga Sutra begin from asana? Then where did it begin from? It straight away begins from samadhi. That's the first lesson. And because the student is not able to understand, accept, has doubts, then after going to second chapter, the yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, etc. is given. But till second chapter, there is no mention of asana. So, are we just copy pasting what life is, what we are? I think this is interesting for me, I should go. Like many people in Melbourne, nowadays you must have, here also it must be there, Vipassana. हाँ, किसी ने किया है यहाँ पे? Thank God, बच गए.
यहाँ भी है.
हाँ, सब जगह है. But where does Vipassana take you? To an empty mind. And nobody has experienced empty mind naturally, apart from being in sleep. There you are put under certain circumstances, you are locked up in a room, you are not given the proper diet, and 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 day afterwards, some of them go mad. Then they come to us. Because suddenly something has flicked inside of them, not in the positive way, because the attention was not on the light, attention was on emptiness. Therefore, the mind flicked. So, similarly, you find, because others are doing, you have to do it. No. You be in tune with yourself, you see what is conducive for you, in which direction your body is going. What is the orientation of your mind? Just because karma yoga is given doesn't mean that everyone has to follow karma yoga. But naturally your orientation is towards taking the name of the Lord. If naturally your orientation is towards dhyana abhyas, then no, you don't need to go to the basics again. Like some children are there, if you see on YouTube, a 6-year-old, 7-year-old girl chanting the entire Ramayana. The father took the child to the Ramayana satsang. The girl and dad had खाना, हम कब जाते हैं रामायण, खाना खा लिया, चलो भाई स्क्वायर में रामायण चल रही है, चले गए. And they went there. And the child listened to Ramayana, came back, and she gave a half an hour lecture of whatever she had heard, verbatim. The father was very intrigued. He brought the Ramayana and he chanted some chopais. She repeated it. Then he went in there. Within few days, he chanted the entire Ramayana. The girl remembered the entire Ramayana. Then he started taking her to the satsang. She could repeat the whole satsang, 3-hour satsang, 2-hour satsang. And after a month or so, she said, Dad, I want to give lectures. 7-year-old. We don't even understand interpersonal relationships at this age. That child is able to understand and give examples of interpersonal relationship. What does it know about husband, wife, children and parents? What does it know about Kam, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya? But that child is able to bring it out in the pravachan. Does it need to do yoga? Does it need to do just because others are doing something? Does it need to do all that? No. So be true to yourself. In which direction is your life going, or it's what interests and your natural affinity, and be in that direction. So Patanjali Yoga Sutra gives you an overview and you see where you fit in. The first sutra says Atha Yoga Anushasanam, and this first chapter, there are 4 chapters. First is the Samadhi Pad. All the exercises given here are taking you into Samadhi. Samadhi is also of different types. We'll come to it if we need to. Then second chapter is about the Sadhana Pad. In the Sadhana Pad, what you know as Ashtanga Yoga, that part is covered quite extensively. Then the third chapter is called the Vibhuti Pad. When you do Samadhi, and whether you do Samadhi, theek hai, but when you do Sadhana Pad, are you moving in the right direction? Are you improving? Are you am I doing the exercises correctly? This doubt can come if you have not reached the Samadhi. Till then there is some doubts in the mind कि ये सब करने का कोई फायदा हुआ, यम नियम करने का कोई फायदा हुआ, has my life changed in any way? And then as you going along, some people may experience, or some people can focus their mind on certain higher, if not on God, because they have come to sadhana because they could not do the first chapter Samadhi. That's why they have come to the second chapter. In second chapter also there can be doubts. That's why they are not coming to the conclusion that I am that. And therefore in between they need, I'm just taking one angle, I can talk from many different angles. And they want some experience. They want some that I am growing, I am expanding. And that is shown in the Vibhuti Pad. Vibhuti means the abilities, the expansion, the glory. So there are many exercises in the Vibhuti Pad which you can practice, and within short period you can get siddhis. So there are some exercises within 3 days. If you focus on that, you can get the siddhi. You can read people's mind, you can taste any food and be content. You don't have to eat food. So there are many different types of things. If I give you a name, किसी का भी कौन था अग्रवाल? गोपाल. गोपाल. तो एक और अग्रवाल है यहाँ पे. हाँ वो भी है. So suppose he says Ashish. So I don't know आशीष कौन? आशीष अग्रवाल. अच्छा आशीष अग्रवाल कहाँ पे? लंदन में. You don't have to go to London. You don't have to go to know. You don't have to know anything about past or future or relations of Ashish Agarwal. The name is enough and the place is enough. The image conjures up in your mind within 3 days. this can be achieved. And there are many things like that. I'm just giving you tidbits. And this way you can develop a very acute sense of hearing, etc. What other people are listening. अब अभी थोड़ा सा सुन लेते हो तो इतना प्रॉब्लम होता है. Imagine if you get a siddhi of hearing everything what one is talking, गए काम से. Even it's a bigger problem. So, but one must, according to some masters, one must experience one or two siddhis in their life, in their journey, and you experience that these things do happen, and then you give it up. Not to pursue. If you pursue, you will become a Reiki master. Reiki is also siddhi. So instead of having that ability, your orientation of mind, it could have taken you into samadhi and further. But siddhi aa gayi, it became a way of producing wealth or helping the society, and you got lost in it. And many people, eventually as their energy level keeps going less and less, other problems come to them, those who are the healers. So whether you call it Reiki, or there is this pranic healing, another thing. The master who started from Philippines, pranic healing, at age 52 he died. Because somewhere, somehow, something was not able to protect himself. So, till today, nobody has been able to help this world. Nobody has been able to help this world. Because what is world? Phenomena. Phenomena means kya? Kutte ki poonch. Dog's tail. What is it? It's curled. If you keep it in a pipe for 100 years also, if a dog could live for 100 years, the moment you take out the pipe, world is like that. So why do we have to serve the world? Why do we want to do good deeds in the world? Not because the world needs, to purify ourselves. Nishkama seva. But even better than Nishkama seva is perfecting yourself, and from a perfected person, Nishkama seva automatically happens. There it was the ego of Nishkama seva, here it is a natural fragrance. Wherever you are, you will only think good thoughts, you will only think of helping. Helping does not mean to get involved in every damn thing that life is showing you. Opportunity. No, you have to have the correct acumen and intelligence to be involved or not involved. If you get involved, you have to be chewed. उसपे पापड़ बेलने पड़ेंगे उधर जाके. तो करना है कि नहीं करना है? This light is not doing anything, but it is removing the darkness. Similarly, there are many Mahatmas who are living in the caves, not coming on TV, not going around the world giving lectures and doing singing the glory of the Lord. Yet they are the light, and it is like, one example I'll give you. Mahavatar Baba ka naam suna hai? Yes. Some of you have heard of Mahavatar Baba. He is more than 600-700 years old now. He's always 21 years old. His sister is also always like that. And he appears, if a devotee sincerely and calls him out. He has given darshan to many. But such type of Mahatmas in Himalayas, they are of the source, they are like the light, not going anywhere. But yet, the tree does not go anywhere, but it helps whoever comes to it, isn't it? The river is doing its job of going and meeting its beloved, but all along the way, paropkar. The paropkar, it doesn't have a feeling of doing paropkar, helping other people, but its presence is help to everyone. The tree gives shade, the tree gives fruits, the tree gives wood, the river gives water, the river gives transportation, the people can take bath. You dirtied me, I'm going to teach you a lesson. No, you cut a branch from me, the tree is not going to punish you. Paropkar. Our paropkar is, I am doing so much good for everyone without expecting anything, and you did and someone says something and passes a comment and immediately gaya sara. See? So let's not be one of those. So best ways, continue perfecting yourself or by accepting that you are perfect, and automatically as we recognize ourselves to be the nature of light, this benevolence, this paropkar will automatically happen through us. There will be no darkness around. And what is that darkness? That darkness is the eye of seeing two, where there is only one. And towards that, the first verse here, in the first chapter of the Samadhi Path of Yoga Sutra, it talks about Atha Yoga Anushasanam. All scriptures in our Shastras either begin with Atha or begin with Om. These are the Atha means nouns. So it is a trigger to bring everyone into the present moment. So the moment it is said Atha, so the student must be so in tune and alert that he stops thinking about the past, he stops thinking about the future, he stops thinking about his problems and issues and opportunities and whatever investments and everything, and comes into the now. Now also means whatever has to be done has been done, whatever has not been done, leave it alone. Leave everything as it is. Now be present. Atha. Yoga Anushasanam. Yoga I have already explained in the last class what yoga means, that it is union, that it is consummation, it is recognition, different ways of expressing it, recognition that you are already complete. And Anushasanam, these are the instructions. Shasan is rule. These are the rules. If you follow it, good. If you don't follow it, there is red light, there is green light, and there is orange. I'll go through red. Man only decided red is red, green is green. I don't want to live like that. I will accept red is green and green is red. You have to face the consequences. Accident करना है, मरो. तो यहाँ पे भी ऐसे ही बोला जा रहा है that Anushasan means instructions. These are the laws. These are the diktats. You follow it, you will benefit. If you don't follow it, then face the consequences. And what is the first diktat? Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. How does this union is brought about? How is this recognition of the self brought about? Recognition of the consciousness. How is this light, which is our nature, made to be effulgent? Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Very simple example. Explanation is very complicated, and that's not the purpose here. The sun is shining, or take the moon. The moon is shining on the ocean, right? You have all seen sometime or the other. If there are too many waves on the moon, what will you see? You will see many sparkles of moonlight on the waves. You will not see a complete moon reflected in the waters, isn't it? Because you can't see moon reflected in the water, does it mean there is no moon? But what is happening? The moon, reflection of the moon is hijacked by the many waves on the water, and therefore we are not able to see the complete orb of the moon in the water. Then what do we have to do? Sometime always is there. If the wind has gone down, the waves subside, and suddenly in between the waves you are able to see the reflection of the moon, isn't it? This is our experience. And if the waves have completely subsided, the reflection of the moon is always there. So now apply it on yourself. The ocean is your mind, the waves are your thoughts. Too many thoughts, that light of the self, this light is hijacked by all the thoughts. So you are not able to see the light in its completeness. Then what do you have to do? Chitta vritti nirodha. Subside the thoughts. Some way, there are many ways. Alcohol, drugs, that is what the world is trying. Huh? Some people, like I've been to Kailash many times. This year was the 9th time I went. Climbed up to 21,000 feet. Touched Kailash. Why? Because once you come to a certain point and in that parikrama, in that trek, or gradually when you get into Tibet, the thoughts in your mind, without any pranayam, without any chitta vritti nirodha, sahaj way, naturally, they are becoming zero. If you want to think also, you cannot think. You want to remember, you cannot remember. Unwanted things. Because हमारा जप चल रहा था, but sometimes जप stops, nothing, empty mind, only where one step, that's all there is. And सामने Kailash. And he takes over the mind. No other thoughts of parents, of phone करना है, has everyone been taken care of, घर में चोरी हो गई कि नहीं, कार गराज के बाहर खड़ी है कि नहीं, nothing. Only Kailash and you. That is your... Naturally it is happening. You are not doing any yoga. So those who climb mountains, they traverse the peaks, they get into that adrenaline rush. What happens there? Their mind becomes empty, so they keep climbing mountains. That's why I keep going to Kailash. कि मजा आता है यार. अपने आप मन खाली हो जाता है. Without any efforts. No alcohol, no drugs, no pranayam, no samadhi abhyas. You are in a natural state of samadhi with your eyes open. You are doing everything. I am organizing everything. So I am doing everything. But you are continuously in that poise. Can we live like that after coming down from Kailash? Can we live like that while living in the world? In samadhi, you all practice, do a little bit of pranayam. After that, you have all experienced some peace inside yourself. मन एकदम शांत हो जाता है. Can we maintain that poise in spite of being in the world? Because every time the world is not going to give you the opportunity to do that pranayam and then experience that silence. There must be a way that I must be able to be in that poise in spite of everything. I have tested that it is possible. Is there a way that I can be like that, in that poise, undisturbed, calm mind, happy disposition, feeling full of enthusiasm and inspiration and energy, calm within, relaxed, while moving around in the world? Can I be that way? Possible. But we have to be available to it. We have to be thinking about it. तो चित्त वृत्ति निरोधः इति योगः. कोई आया, देखो दरवाजा खोलो. So initially, yes, maybe, just like I told you that the waves on the ocean have to subside in order for the reflection to appear. But if you are little bit smart, you understand that the reflection is always there. But right now, because of the waves, it is not seen, that's all. But it is always there. And you are seeing the waves, and you are seeing the sparkle in the waves, which is the expression of that moon, only in the moonlight. Only in the moonlight. Exactly the same way. Exactly in the same way. Every thought is being seen in the mind only because of the light that I am. Mind has got no light of its own. One more rule, which I should have brought it in the last class. Mind does not know the difference between
Reality and illusion.
good, does not know the difference between what is real and what is unreal. Whatever you feed, it will start believing that. So it's like our computer. Whatever program you put in, output will be that only. If I put all dirty photographs, it will bring out dirty. If I put in scriptures and apps which are showing, that will. If I put all serials, it will show me serials. If I put all satsangs will come out. But putting serials of unwanted dramas and then expecting I will learn from these serials, बहुत टाइम लगेगा. तो हम अपने मन में क्या डाल रहे हैं? What are we putting into our mind? If mind does not know, mind is a flow of thoughts. And mind has got no intelligence. We believe that mind has intelligence. Mind has got no intelligence. It's just a data box. Whatever this I, this self gives value to, that becomes important for the mind. So you can change from tamasic, you can come to rajasic. From rajasic, you can come to sattvic. From sattvic, you can go beyond. From body, you can come to breath. From breath, you can come to mind. From mind, you can come to intellect. From intellect, you can come to life. From life, you can go to the Paramatma. Be the Paramatma. What are you feeding in your mind? Who you are. So understand the principle. Okay? We are not going to be disturbed by the thoughts. But in initial stages, here it is given in that chitta vritti nirodha, that if we subside the thoughts, we can have the glimpse, and once we have the glimpse, we will become more inspired. हाँ भी आगे और करना है. एक glimpse आ गया, हाँ आगे करना है. पर आगे क्या करना है? Some people are focused only on thoughts. हाँ, I have. This is our problem. If you reduce the number of waves on the ocean, can you stop yourself from not seeing the reflection of the moon? Can you stop? It will natural, isn't it? It is natural. But what happens is, chitta vritti nirodha, and we say, no, there is nothing. That means somewhere we have fed the wrong data into our mind. And therefore, so that we don't go the wrong direction, the teacher, Patanjali Maharaj, he says that once the thoughts have become subsided by whatever ways or naturally also, then tada drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam. In that example of the ocean, the moon was outside and it was reflecting in the ocean waters. Here, you are the light. You are reflecting in the ocean of the mind. You were illuminating the waves. Now, when the waves have subsided, all that is left is you. Don't look for moon. Where is the moon? Where is the light? Where is the light in the darkness? The problem comes because of continuously seeking answer from outside. And that's why the first class was there, that you have to accept you are the source. You have to accept you are the light. You have to accept you are the consciousness. You have to accept you are the Paramatma. In essence. Then there is no outsourcing it. There is no, if someone tells me, then I will come to know. Someone yesterday asked me, Swamiji, if I don't have a guru, then how will I come to know? Don't we have to study scriptures only under someone? From some guru? I said, बिल्कुल सही बात है. How will you answer?
Self-guru.
Good. The Sadguru is within. That Sadguru within is expressing as the teacher outside. So you all manifested me. You all manifested me. कहाँ से? मेलबर्न से. ये देखो. Why only this? Because this is how it is at this moment. So you create your reality. So don't go into ignorance, don't go into darkness, don't go into nothingness, don't go into emptiness, don't go into void. These are some of the impediments when Chitta Vritti Nirodha happens. You have heard all these words? Maybe you have experienced also all these. हाँ? कि अब क्या आगे क्या, अब तो कुछ नहीं है, अब क्या करूँ? You are going to wait for someone to tell something. It's okay if someone tells. Sometimes that is what is required. Our Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was there and he was having one thought, and that was of Kali Mata. And when what was his name? Totapuri Maharaj, he got a vision in a dream that you have to go to Kali Badi Mandir and help Paramahamsa Yogananda, not Paramahamsa, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. And he came and he says, yes, I was got this. He said, I also got a, yesterday only I was thinking, I've been thinking, and today you are already here. So problem arose because Ramakrishna Paramahamsa used to experience different, used to do different sadhanas. When he did the sadhana of Hanuman Bhav, he started growing a tail. This is recorded, huh? When he did the sadhana of Radha Bhav, he started developing breasts. It took 6 months for them to go back to normal. It took 1 year for the tail to again recede. Otherwise his spine started growing. See, bhav ki baat hai. So when he did the Jesus bhav and this bhav, now he wanted to have a advaita bhav. और जैसे अद्वैत बात किया तो अद्वैत is going beyond form, name, qualities, attributes, and Mata is everything. Now how to go beyond that? Totapuri Maharaj came. Totapuri Maharaj came and he said, hey, kill the mother. For him it was blasphemy. Mother, she is everything to me. How can I kill? I can't bring in my heart how to kill. This, that, no, I cannot do that. My hand with the sword doesn't raise itself, even in the imagination. He said, Acha. Next day again he sat down. He says, can you see mother? Yes. Can you see her hand? Yes. Can you see the sword? Yes. Is mother permanent? No, she comes and goes sometimes. So that mind alone has become the mother, that mind alone has become the hand, that mind alone has become the sword. Let the imaginary sword kill the imaginary mother. And he said, just follow. Katak! Kar diya. 3 days Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was in Samadhi. 3 days. But there was a difference. When he came out of Samadhi, his vision was not that I have gone beyond thoughts and I have come to realize myself. When he came out of Samadhi, his realization was all in one in all. Understand what I am saying? The realization of the ocean is all waves are in me, I am in all the waves. Now, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was all the waves are in me, I in the whole world, and the whole world is in me and I am in the whole world. Totapuri Maharaj's was only Samadhi. He said Nirgun Samadhi, without qualities, without attributes. And he used to come out, he used to still see the world. He used to still get troubled by the world. And then after a few months of being with Paramahamsa Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he saw that there is something different about him compared to me. I still consider the world to be world. He never allowed people to come and touch his feet because energy leak ho jayegi. होते ना कई महात्मा है, but Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he is open to everyone. He says, then they had a discussion. And then when he heard the all in one, one in all, he became, first he was the guru of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Now he became the disciple of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Disciple means, he says, please help me in gaining that vision. Because I am only gaining the Paramatma on the seat of meditation, but when I move out in the world, I see the world. It has not transformed into divine. And he stayed with him for 6-7 months, and then he was delivered. And once he got it, he walked away. Went back to Puri, his samadhi is still there. And therefore, same thing, what I have told you through story, is told here as Tada Drashtuhu Swarupe Avasthanam is the third sutra. Third sutra, Tada, then, Drashtuhu, see, Swarupe, in the essence, in your own nature, be established in your own nature. Be established in your own light. Be established in the one who knows before there were thoughts and now there are no thoughts. Who is illuminating the thoughts and who is illuminating the absence of thoughts? You are that. This is Tada Drashtuhu Swarupe Avasthanam. And here the Patanjali Yoga Sutra is complete. And not understanding this, then our the next few verses, what are they? Let me get. Tada drashtu sab vritti sarupyam itaratra. Again, it is explaining that the vrittaya panchatayya klishtaha aklishtaha. There are two types. So now the student, he did not understand the tada drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam. You have to look at it. If you get lost in the verses, you will not see the bigger picture. So you take one step back. Achha, why are these verses told after tada drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam? Because something happened to the student. What happened? He did not understand the Swarup. He did not come back to the Swarup. Instead, he started questioning. He started, no, these thoughts are troubling me. They are not, again they are coming and I am not able to go back to being the Swarup. I am not able to be the Swarup. Can the eyes see the eyes? Can these eyes see the eyes? Because they cannot see the eyes, does it mean there are no eyes? There is no vision? There is vision, no? So when you are at tada drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam, you are saying, now look at your own essential nature. You cannot look, you can only be. This is only an instruction by the teacher. But there is nothing to do there. There is no journey. There is no movement. There is no thought. So you go from thought to the silence, and from the silence you transcend the thought and the absence of thought, which is silence, and come and be the one, be that light. But the student did not understand. He wants to understand what are these thoughts, why are they troubling me, why they are coming back again, because the gap between the thought, the chitta vritti and the silence, it's very little. You have to build up the stamina. So right now, I don't know how much stamina you have to listen. It's already 1 hour. मैं तो अभी शुरू भी नहीं किया यार. पर ठीक है, जो तुमको मिलना है वो मिलना है. अगर समझ गए तो बेड़ा पार, नहीं समझे तो बेड़ा पार. करेक्ट, बिल्कुल करेक्ट. So in this manner, the student is busy in analyzing, because his objective in his approach to follow the instruction tada drashtuhu swarupe avasthanam, you have to be subjective. Just like I gave you the example, that eyes ka example, that you are not able to see the eyes, but you still know the eyes are there. Exactly the same way, you can never see the mind, but you know the mind is there. So, mind is subtler than vision. But go even further. You cannot see the self, but the self is there. In its light, everything is being known. This, the student, because of his objective orientation, he is not able to catch this sutra, and therefore he starts analyzing the mind and analyzing the thoughts, and thus all the other verses come about. And I'm not going to go in each one of them, and there, as he goes along, so we have taken the abhav, we have taken the sleep, we have taken the absence, we have taken the void, we have taken the emptiness, we have taken the nothingness. These are all different words for the same thing. We have taken that as support. There is nothing called emptiness. It is this or that. And what is in between?
अवकाश.
Emptiness. There is an empty space. But empty space, is there an object called empty space? There is an object called lamp, there is an object called cup, but there is no object called empty space. There is an object called one thought, there is an object called second thought, but there is no object called empty space between the two thoughts. See? We have started, because of our habit, that we go to sleep every night. We have made that habit that empty space is something. And therefore we start talking about nihilism, the philosophy of nihilism, Buddhism. It talks about empty space. There's nothing, there's nothing, there's nothing. In Vedanta or in our Sanatan Dharma, we do not talk only about nothing. We say no. There is. Truth is. It is not is. Truth is. And in this manner, with one more point, I will conclude, and that is, as long as we are reducing the number of thoughts in our mind, because the second verse sutra said, Chitta Vritti Nirodha iti yoga, as we are reducing the number of thoughts in our mind, consciously or unconsciously, knowingly or unknowingly, knowledge will start sprouting forth. If you do it consciously, you will be conscious of that. In deep sleep, when you go to sleep every night, you are one with the reality, but you don't know it, because you have taken the support of emptiness as real, as sleep as real. Sleep करके कोई चीज नहीं है, emptiness करके कोई चीज नहीं है. So therefore sadhana is not done in deep sleep. Sadhana is not done in dream. Sadhana is done in the waking state. You have to be conscious. So remaining conscious, bring your mind to zero, whichever way. Here they will explain afterwards. And you can, if you are awake and you don't get caught up into the emptiness, etc., you have no choice but to be yourself. There's no choice. And where you be yourself, or you get glimpses of the, suppose between the two waves, you are seeing the sun, moon, and again the waves are coming and covering it. As the number of thoughts are reducing in your mind, the knowledge that is your essential nature, the light that the moon is, it will reveal itself. The cobwebs are removed, knowledge comes forth, what you need for your journey will be revealed. I was showing him one SMS came. One girl said, Swamiji, there is no क्या अब इस वाले फोन में है. She says, Swamiji, if the truth, the reality is beyond words and beyond mind, then how will I come to know the truth? Because there are no words and I can only think in the words or thoughts. Then how will I come to know it? Then it must be that all the scriptures are expressions of that one. All the gurus are the expression of that one. Then everything that is happening at any given moment is the expression of that one reality. She asked the question, she came to a conclusion, answer within herself. How beautiful! And we unknowingly keep seeking the answers outside. Don't. Reduce, become calm, be relaxed, be content with where life has placed you, and you cannot miss the reality that you are. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Just sit quietly for a moment. You cannot escape from seeing the darkness, emptiness in front of your eyes when your eyes are closed. But is your attention on the emptiness, or is your attention on the self in whose light? And the moment you shift your attention to the self, to the illuminator, the darkness converts into light. Because darkness, there's nothing called darkness. Hari Om.